I have now come on to Uig Beach at the Ardroil Macher end. As I look across the beach, I can see what looks like a green mount on the far side. It is the ruins of what's called a dune or a broch. Not a very large one, but a very interesting one. And there are two kinds of stories told about it. One told by the archaeologists who try and understand what it is and where it fits into archaeological time. The other is that it is the basis for a local folktale. A giant called Cuach lived in this broch, and that's why it's called locally to this day Dún Huich, the Dune of Cuach. He was a monster supposedly in every sense of the word. He plagued the local community. At this time supposedly lived a band of warriors, and there are frequent stories about them in Ireland and in Gaelic Scotland. They were called na Féine, or the Fenians, the Féine, under the leadership of Fionn Finn MacCool. It is said that this community sent for the Féine to try and relieve them from Cuach, who was plaguing them. On this sandy beach, the Féine appeared and faced the fortification here and waited for Cuach, for the monster to appear. Day after day they waited. Then one day he came out and started fishing for flounders in the river that you see going through the sand here, with a three-pronged spear, ignoring na Féine on the beach. The band of warriors retreated a bit and relaxed and played games. One of them, Fionn's grandson Oscar, said that he was going up into the hills to the south here to hunt, and asked Fionn, his grandfather, whether he could borrow the enchanted sword which was called Macalún. So off Oscar went with a friend, the Black Gilly in Yilidu. They were up there for a number of days and they exchanged swords. Now, if any of the Féine were given anything, the other person could never ask for it back unless it was given voluntarily. So the Black Gilly had the enchanted sword Macalún. Down at the broch, Cuach finally appeared in full battle gear, and he looked so ferocious that the Féine who were on the beach took a step back, and this is known to be the only time that the Féine ever took a step back. Cuach walked across and challenged them. So one by one they began to tackle Cuach, and one by one he got the better of them. Finally, Fionn himself went in, but he didn't have Macalún with him. When the Féine saw this, they sounded the horn of distress, which was heard for miles around. Oscar said, "The Féine are in distress. A warrior is needed. Woe the man who doesn't have a sword." "What would you do with it if you had it?" the Black Gilly said to him. "I'd fight a third of the battle by myself." The horn of distress sounded a second time, and Oscar said, "Féine are in distress. There is need for a warrior. Woe the man who doesn't have a sword. What would you do if you had it?" asked the Black Gilly. "I would fight 2/3 of the battle by myself." Down here, Cuach was still getting the better of Fionn, and the horn of distress sounded a third time. "The Féine are in distress," said Oscar. "There is need for a warrior. Woe the man who is without his sword. What would you do?" If you had it, I would fight the battle for myself." The Black Gilly gave him Macelwyn, and Oscar came down here. The Fania were in disarray and Fionn in a very bad way on his knees. Oscar made for Cuach. Cuach's head rolled down, down on to the beach. They buried him, and the headstone was 9 feet